Gypsy Rose Blanchard expressed her regrets for her role in her abusive mother's death. Dee Dee, who allegedly suffered from a rare behavioral disorder called Munchausen by proxy, mentally and physically abused her daughter with unnecessary medications and surgeries throughout her childhood, leading Gypsy Rose to plot her murder alongside boyfriend Nicholas Godejohn. Nick received a life sentence for carrying out the murder, while Gypsy Rose served 7 years behind bars. However, the now 32-year-old is set to walk free on Thursday, December 28. Prior to her release, she opened up about what she'd have done differently. "I was desperate to get out of that situation," she explained in a recent interview. "If I had another chance to redo everything, I don't know if I would go back to when I was a child and tell my aunts and uncles that I'm not sick and mommy makes me sick, or if I would travel back to just the point of that conversation with Nick and tell him, you know what, I'm going to go tell the police everything. I kind of struggle with that. Nobody will ever hear me say I'm glad she's dead or I'm proud of what I did," she added. "I regret it every single day." Gypsy also revealed how her mother managed to keep her unsure about the true state of her health for so many years. "Obviously, I knew that I could walk and didn't need a feeding tube, but everything else was a really big confusion for me," she explained. "Whenever I'd question it, my mother would say I'd had a seizure the night before and didn't remember. There was always an excuse. I would voice concerns, being like, I really don't feel like I need this, and she would get really upset with me and start manipulating me," she continued, noting her mother would bribe her so she could comply with medical procedures. She'd say, "If you do well at the hospital, then we're going to Toys R Us to buy a new Barbie." I tried my best to be respectful, but sometimes it was hard. She'd call me things like BWHS, she noted, alleging her mom would also hit, punch and slap her if she didn't listen. "It was very similar to a domestic violence type of relationship," she shared. "As long as you're complacent, everything's fine. Put your foot down, then it's bad." Gypsy and Nick first started plotting Dee Dee's murder after the young woman had tried to run away from home to avoid an unnecessary medical procedure on her larynx. "I was trying really hard to figure out another way," she revealed. "That's when there was a conversation between me and my co-defendant Nick. He said I would do anything to protect you. I said, anything? He said yes." And while Gypsy Rose maintained her mother was highly abusive, she confessed her mom didn't deserve to die. "She was a sick woman and unfortunately I wasn't educated enough to see that," she said. "She deserved to be where I am, sitting in prison doing time for criminal behavior." Gypsy Rose spoke with People about her mother's murder.